Welcome to our channel Infotime.
Mangalyan, India's first spacecraft orbiter to Mars. This mission is considered to be an India's pride because India succeeded in this mission in its first attempt. After United States, UK, and Russia, India is the fourth country to launch a spacecraft on Mars. And this is the most cost efficient spacecraft in the world till date. After this mission launch, world turned over to India. The cost of this mission was 450 crores, that is 74 million USD. This is about 7 times lesser than the other spacecrafts till date. It was launched on 5th November 2013 through PSLV XL C-25 rocket. It reached the Mars orbit on 24 September 2014. Actually, this mission was planned for a duration of 6 months orbiting the Mars, but it lasted for 7 years and 6 months and 8 days. After 298 days of transit to Mars, it was put into the Mars orbit on 24th September 2014. Its first mission of orbit maneuvers to transfer the spacecraft from Earth-centered orbit to heliocentric trajectory and finally capture into the Martian orbit. The spacecraft was monitored from the control center at ISRO, the telemeter tracking and command network with support from Indian Deep Space Network. Mangalyaan is the only Monterrian satellite that could capture the full disk of Mars in one view frame, also takes images of a far side of the Deimos and Phobos. So, this helped the Indian Space Agency to prepare Martian Atlas based on the images provided by the orbiter. An important conclusion of the mission has been the finding of dust storms on the Martian can rise up to hundreds of kilometers and it can expand throughout the Martian surface, even it covers up the Martian sky. This Mangalyaan spacecraft carried along at least 100 kg of fuel for contingency and orbit corrections, and the fuel is still left in abundance. One of the key reasons for the long survival was ISRO's ability to do maneuvers without wasting fuel. So far, the spacecraft had survived passing of comet Siding Spring, avoided a long eclipse that could have potentially exhausted its batteries, and survived the communication backlog for a period of 1 month from June 2015 to July 2015. Apart from this 100 kg of fuel, Mangalyaan carries 5 instruments with it. They are Mars color camera, thermal infrared imaging spectrum, methane sensor for Mars, Mars exospheric neutral composition analysis, Lyman alpha photometer. With help of all these instruments, the Mangalyaan can be able to explore the Mars surface and features and morphology, and it can find its mineralogy and also the Martian atmosphere exploration. And also it took closer pictures on Mars, Moon like Phobos and Deimos. The study consists of Martian atmosphere including methane and CO2 using remote sensing technique. They study the dynamics of upper atmosphere of a Mars, effects of solar wind and rotation, and escape of volatiles to the outer space. In May to June 2015, Indian scientists got an opportunity to study the solar corona during the Mars conjunction when Earth and Mars on the opposite sides of the Sun. During this period, the S-band waves emitted by Mangalyaan were transmitted through the solar corona that extends millions of kilometers into space. This event helped scientists to study the solar surface and regions where temperature changed abruptly. The Mangalyaan mission was ended on April 2022. It was reported on October 2022 that the orbiter had irrecoverably lost the communications with Earth after entering a 7-hour eclipse period in April 2022. All attempts to revive Mangalyaan had failed and officially declared it was dead. But because of Mangalyaan only, Mangalyaan 2 was the next project of India which could be launched on 2025. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.